For some, birthdays stopped feeling special a long time ago. Not because they've lost happiness, but because they've redefined what happiness means. When you've walked through enough seasons of life, you begin to see it clearly. Joy doesn't live in the moment. Joy lives in the meaning. People who treat their birthday like a normal day often move from a place of peace, not excitement. They've realized that attention once felt like validation, but now it just feels like noise. They no longer need applause to remember their worth. Their worth is rooted in quiet victories, in moments no one witnessed, in growth no one clapped for. To them, a birthday isn't a grand performance. It's a sunrise, a symbol. Proof that they've made it through another year. Still standing, still breathing, still learning. Their celebration isn't loud because their gratitude runs deep and inward. How you view your birthday reveals something powerful, your connection to purpose. If you wake up waiting for celebration, it means you still tie milestones to validation. You want your existence recognized by others. But when your birthday feels like just another day, it's not emptiness, it's focus. You've shifted your center of gravity. Those who live with purpose don't need permission to feel significant. To them, birthdays are checkpoints, quiet markers of alignment. Moments to ask, am I still walking in my purpose? They measure life not by candles, but by contribution. Not by gifts, but by growth. Not by who remembered them, but by what they remembered about themselves. That's not indifference. That's maturity. Emotional evolution, where self-worth is owned, not borrowed. Routine says a lot about a person, especially on their birthday. Those who treat it like any other day usually share one trait: discipline. They're not cold, they're consistent. Their structure is their celebration. They don't wait for the world to make them feel special. They live like they already are. Every morning is their ceremony. Every habit is their ritual. To them, discipline is sacred, a silent anthem that says, I don't need chaos to feel alive. Their birthdays blend into their routine because their sense of value doesn't depend on occasion. It's built into who they are, every day, every sunrise, every breath. Let's get this straight. Not celebrating isn't always sadness. Emotional detachment can be strength. It can be healing. Some people have learned through years of disappointment that expectations create pain. Forgotten birthdays, unkept promises, moments that were supposed to feel special, but didn't. So instead of waiting for others to remember them, they learn to remember themselves. It's not bitterness, it's wisdom. It's what psychologists call adaptive emotional regulation. The ability to stay balanced when the world forgets to show up for you. They've built peace, not by closing off their hearts, but by controlling what gets in. They've chosen stability over excitement, and in that quiet space, they find freedom. Gratitude doesn't need noise. It doesn't need an audience. The ones who spend their birthday quietly often practice the purest kind of gratitude, the kind that lives in silence. It's not posted, it's felt. It's a deep breath. It's a quiet whisper. I made it. Because when you've seen storms, even an ordinary day feels like grace. Their celebration isn't in the party, it's in the perspective. Maybe they'll walk, Maybe they'll make tea. Maybe they'll just sit with their thoughts, not to impress, but to realign. Because gratitude brings clarity. It restores vision. It reminds you you're still growing, even in stillness. And sometimes that's enough. Here's what psychology tells us. People who value autonomy over attention often show emotional independence. Their happiness doesn't swing with social approval. Their dopamine doesn't depend on likes or parties. It depends on purpose. They're motivated by meaning, not moments. Their satisfaction is slow, steady, and internal. That's why thinkers, monks, and creators often live quietly. They haven't rejected joy. They've redefined it. They've shifted from chasing excitement to cultivating peace. But let's be honest, sometimes it's just another day is a shield. For some, it's not peace, it's protection. Forgotten birthdays, people who never showed up, loneliness that lingered when others celebrated. So they taught themselves not to expect, because expecting hurt too much. They built armor out of indifference. They smiled and said, "It's fine." But behind that quiet, there's a longing. Not for attention, but for genuine connection. They don't need a crowd. They just want someone who sees them. It's not about gifts or cake. It's about presence, about being known. And when that presence never came, they learned to be enough for themselves. Birthdays reflect identity. They show us how we see our own worth. When you stop chasing external validation, you don't lose confidence. You gain clarity. People who treat their birthday like any other day often value continuity over occasion. They don't live for spotlight moments. They live for steady progress. Their worth doesn't come from who's watching. It comes from who they've become. And that's real freedom, when you don't need celebration to feel complete. Spiritually, this mindset is profound. Those who see life as a divine journey don't need one day to feel special. They see every day as sacred. Their peace doesn't depend on the calendar. It depends on alignment with purpose. A birthday to them isn't about indulgence. It's reflection. A quiet conversation between the soul and its creator. Am I still walking in truth? Am I still growing? That's spiritual maturity, when you stop counting years and start measuring impact. There's freedom in simplicity, freedom from pressure, freedom from pretending, freedom from the need to perform happiness for the world. These people aren't ungrateful. They're evolved. Because when you truly understand life, peace becomes the new party. You don't need loud music. You found harmony in silence. You don't need recognition. You found meaning in stillness. You don't count years. You count grace. And so the person who smiles quietly on their birthday, no cake, no noise, no post, isn't sad. They're free.